Please like and subscribe.
Hello, Collective. Welcome to your reading. Collective, this is a general spirit check-in, not a personal one-to-one spirit check-in. So you may not resonate with all the reading. You might not resonate with any of the reading. Please take what you need and leave the rest behind. Collective, I could be picking up on your energy or on the energy of someone who's in your energy. If it doesn't feel like I'm speaking about you, please switch the energies around. You may get your own intuitive messages as you connect with the cards. Please trust your own intuition. Creator, please bless Collective's reading. Please bring in the knowledge and the wisdom of the Most High for the collective and for whoever comes into the reading. Thank you. What's on the bottom of the deck is the Page of Swords in reverse. So somebody is not being honest. They are being somebody, this is the energy of all talk. Manipulation, deception, and all talk. Whether this is you or somebody you're dealing with, or however, this is kind of the energy that's supporting the entire reading. So in your recent past or your distant past, either way, you went through a series of experiences that elevated you. These were experiences that were, I feel in some ways, divine for your growth, specific growth, specific in specific areas, and I feel it was very painful. Some of them were very painful, but it brought you into a King of Cups energy. But that King of Cups, you know, once you reach the King, it's like a sense of completion in some ways, but yet it's a renewal. And so with this sense of renewal, or this sense of completion, there's now either a decision to be made, a very difficult or hard decision that has to be made about something. Maybe this is a truce between you and yourself, or you and someone else. Or it could be a stalemate, like the equal forces that are pushing against each other and there's no movement, it's a stalemate. We'll find out more as we clarify. So I feel like in the experiences that came towards you in the past, I feel like you lost a lot. I'm feeling like you lost a lot. I keep getting this image of, I don't feel this is a, I just get this image like losing valuables that were taken from you. Someone wants to see your ring and you give it to them to see, and then it gets passed around a room, a bunch of people, and it gets back to you and there's a diamond missing. You know, and nobody's, maybe it fell on the floor, maybe who knows what happened, but you know, things like that, where you were not only careless with your most valuable possessions, but others weren't also. And that's what I'm feeling, this Nine of Pentacles, is you learned by this experience, you learned. Yes, it's like you had to learn to let go of things. You had to learn, and you felt like things were getting stolen, or, life was stripping things or removing things out of your life, stripping things out of your life. But it's almost like a shedding of old skin. Because here you are in a position of where you don't necessarily feel generous and wealthy. It's almost like a snake shedding its skin. I'm feeling whatever deception this is, I'm feeling it is self-deception, my dear collective. I feel it is self-deception, because nobody can deceive us unless we're first deceiving ourselves, period, or unless we just don't know, unless we're just not aware, or too trusting maybe. It could also be that you had these experiences, came in, and you went and met up with a king of cups that looked like a king of cups. You had to make a difficult decision. You lost out on a lot of things. Maybe this king of cups is somebody else. I have a feeling it's you, though. I have a feeling like you came through some situations that really matured your capacity to balance your own emotions. And it's through what you lost in the past. And I feel like you're still going through a process of what you've lost. It's like, oh, I just heard the altar of incense. You're at an altar of incense where it's like you learn the value of, this is the high priestess, okay? You learn the value of your opposition. You learn the value of your loss. Why did things that are, and that is no easy feat. It's no easy work. This is deep medicine. This is truly medicine. This is soul medicine. This isn't just jewelry for the mind, okay? This is, as Tom Waits calls it, this is real medicine. Because you are truly yes, you feel vulnerable. I'm feeling like you've broken a cycle in your life. I feel like you've broken a cycle in your life. And with all of this change, I feel like you're seeing incredible change. And this change is kind of forcing you or inviting you inward to go and look at your losses. I feel like this is where you've been, is looking at your losses. Getting to know yourself, getting to know the value of why, getting the value of the yin yang, the light and the dark in your life, the purpose of both of them, because you'll never get rid of both of them. We live in a dual universe, a spiral galaxy. When you put two opposites together, you get a spiral. This is the way things are. These are the laws of the universe. And I feel like you're beginning to know that, and you are yielding to understanding how powerful you are and trusting the flow of your own life instead of fighting against it. And that's what I'm feeling you're doing, trying to find other ways of solving conflict rather than having to have a bloody knockdown fight. You can find other ways, or this just could be somebody else that's not willing to be honest with themselves yet. Maybe this is you going inward to a point, but there are certain things, it's true. We see things, We only have the ability to see what we have the neurology to see. And we gain the neurology to see things when we develop the courage to see our own suffering. You know, like Ram Dass teaches, we'll never eradicate suffering, but the fastest way of alleviating suffering is to see it, name it, diagnose. You know, the word diagnose, the etymology comes from ancient language. Ancient language was full of mythology, full of mythos, the power of mythos. You look this up on the internet, the etymology of the word, spoken word, or of the word, but it kind of blew my mind. I was blown away about the words we speak. Words are spells. So I feel that, you know, we have the power to see what we have the neurology to see, and we gain the courage step by step to see ourselves, more and more and more of ourselves. But there could be an aspect of yourself that you're not yet ready to see. Maybe you need to, you know, maybe that's what this duplicity energy is about, someone not being entirely honest with themselves. And hoping you can maybe spiritually bypass or go on, move ahead without dealing with something. Or just a minute here, that's not it either. That's not it either. Holy, okay. You know, I feel like you really are a medicine keeper. You know, whether or not you're members of the channel, I feel like you are medicine keepers anyway. Just because of the energy that comes out of the cards, because whoever you're looking back at, or maybe looking forward to, I feel like this is pertaining to your current process of dealing, of having an understanding of what you've lost and the cycles in your life that you have closed through the loss of these energies. Yes, that's what this is. The cycles in your life that have closed through the energies, relationships, people, places, and things in your life that have exited your life, that are no longer a part of your life. You're now entering into new cycles, into a new cycle. You went in for a time, but I'm feeling whoever you're looking back at, I feel like there's somebody else attached to this energy, and I feel like they're not willing. I feel like they literally don't have the emotional capacity to come to you to resolve whatever unfinished business this is. Yes, you are like an alchemist, because you are able to alchemize this. I'm feeling what you're doing here is taking the swords off the battlefield to find another way to deal with this, which means you have to alchemize this metal. You need to take these swords, melt them down. Oh my God, I have never gotten a message like this through the Seven of Swords ever. You need to alchemize these truths, and only you can do this. And this is what will release you. This is what will release you. This is like, I see this card always as the young version of the High Priestess energy. The black pillar and the white pillar, Boaz and Yakin. That is unity and duality. You know, the yin-yang circle, the yin-yang, that's exactly the High Priestess. The duality, the good, the light and the dark within the whole. The whole of what? The whole of your life. The whole of your life, the whole of your experiences, the things you've come through. Okay. Creator, what is the Ace of Pentacles? What is the Ace of Pentacles? The Ace of Pentacles, yes, I feel like you came through the close of a cycle within your own life. You could have been dealing with 4 fixed signs here. You could have been dealing with Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. Any of those 4 fixed signs in your life. This was a long-standing relationship, long-standing dynamic that came to an end. This put something no longer had authority over your life. I'm feeling like this is family. Some sort of a father figure, maybe it's just an authoritative figure, parent figure. It could be grandmother, auntie, uncle, somebody that had authority over you. They no longer do. This is shattering of a family here, but this is you rejoicing. You're not trying to shatter. You did not come into this energy of these Ace of Pentacles energies with the intention of shattering your family or shattering whatever this was. This is you. A lot of people are not happy with this, but you're not letting anybody else determine your life anymore. That's what I feel. Oh, where did that card go? Here it is. Oh, how interesting. Yes, King of Cups in reverse on the King of Cups. So whatever came to a close, whatever cycle came to a close, I feel like this is with family that let you lay hold of a King of Cups in reverse within yourself that was formed by the imprinting of your family, even of the culture around you. You know, just very narcissistic. Just severed from his feelings, very not in touch with his heart at all. And I feel like you went up against this not only within your community, but also within yourself in order to get a hold of you, to bring yourself into balance. Even if it meant having to lose half of your life. Holy smoke, I see somebody serious about transformation here. I don't see that energy often. That's very rare. Yes, because this energy, this King of Cups in reverse energy stole a lot from you. And you have turned your back on this energy within yourself, and you've developed new habits. You created new habits. You started practicing, getting educated in new ways, developing self-esteem. Yeah. What is this Two of Swords, Creator? What is this Two of Swords? Okay, I'm just getting this image with this Two of Swords. The difficult decision is you're realizing, how do I say this, Creator? You're realizing that you've been spending energy in areas of your life where it isn't. Okay, let me put it this way. You've been spending large amounts of energy in areas of your life where it's not necessarily necessary. And you're kind of asking yourself, you know, I see a vehicle and on the beach getting stuck and it's spinning its tire and sand is just flying out and the vehicle's not going anywhere. It's just sinking lower and into the beach no matter how hard you tried. That's what I feel. And you becoming aware because you've changed, you've been doing work on yourself, leaving the energies, leaving this narcissistic, whether this is you or somebody else, you going up against this energy that took so much from you and you developing another way of moving forward. And that's exactly what you're doing. And now it has reached fruition. It has come to culmination. It has reached the physical realm now. It's no longer an idea. It's no longer a dream. It's no longer a want or a desire. You're going to make it happen. And that's what this decision is about. Do you want to work hard with no results? Or do you want to trust the Creator? Trust your own flow that comes so natural to you because it's you. It's your flow. And I feel that you will make the right decision because you will be victorious. You will have victory. You will be successful. What is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Creator? What is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse? New deck. What is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Creator? What is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse? Yes, exactly. You began because you're going to make the right decision here. And you're going to be using your energy very, very responsibly. Look at the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to be using your energy because the work you're doing here, that you've made the decision to trust yourself. Trust the Creator that has your back. I feel that this is like more High Priestess energy. You're going to understand the value of, look at the spirals, these are conflicts. Look at the swords, these are truths. You know, like the Seven of Swords, you having to melt these down in order to alchemize this so that you can be airborne again, which you will be. Look at this, airborne. There's the truth, sword and the stone here. I don't know if you've ever heard of the story of King Arthur and the sword and the stone. That's what this is. It was a truth spoken that was so solid and so magnetic to you or to somebody else, but you being able to alchemize this is what removes the sword out of the stone, and you will be airborne. This is symbolic. You will have access to the upper worlds again. I feel like you did at one time, and something happened with your conflicts. You got ensnared in the conflicts, but it was necessary. You had to learn the inside of these conflicts. You know, it's so true. Thank you, Creator, for saying that. You had to learn from the inside of these conflicts. It's one thing to think our way through a conflict or to think our way through someone else's conflict. It's something else to know that conflict from the inside. You see what I'm saying? And that was required. And now that you have an understanding of this and alchemizing these truths, you will have access to the upper dimensions once again. What is the Hierophant in reverse, Creator? What is the Hierophant in reverse? That is beautiful energy. What is the Hierophant in reverse? What is the Hierophant in reverse? Am I taking those? Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. This all just fell right out of the deck. Okay, a Tower in reverse. I feel like this already happened. This is like the aftermath of a tower. Somebody feels entrapped. They're going back to old ways. There's a continuing on of oppression. Somebody could be mother energy, feeling very insecure. It doesn't have to be a mother energy, but somebody in your life, maybe this is you, part of your maybe your femininity feels you're insecure in your femininity or your creativeness, your creativity. Maybe you're not feeling confident to create whatever project you're working on. Maybe you don't feel qualified for it. Okay, but like I said, there's some sort of a family. Okay, this is a mother energy because there was some sort of a family energy that no longer has power over you with this Hierophant energy. You're very vulnerable right now, but you've gone through, there's been a tower. See, yes, there's been a tower, and here it is. This is now the aftermath of it. And here is the Queen of Cups in reverse. Somebody who is very insecure, somebody who is a martyr, who feels like a martyr. Look at all I've done for you. Look at this, look at that. I feel like it's a mother energy. Maybe this is your own mother energy. Maybe this is you coming into understanding your own mother energy. Also, you don't have to be a female. You could be a single father, experiencing and understanding your own mothering energy, tapping into that feminine quality within you, that feminine, nurturing feminine quality as a parent. Because I feel like you do temperate, you come into temperance. Sagittarius, meaning the philosopher of the zodiac. I feel like with this World card or this Zeus card, the Emperor card, I don't feel like this is worldly. Like, it is worldly, but it's worldly in a different way. It's kind of like a new power that you are bringing onto this plane through your work, through the death of a cycle that you have participated in completing. Establishing a new power within you upon this world that is more. Zeus was connected to the upper realms. So I feel like your power, because Zeus was in Mount Olympus, he was at the top, he was above the clouds, so he was in the upper realms. So I feel like whatever power this is, you're going to be connected. Your faith is going to strengthen between you and the Creator. Whatever you believe in is going to strengthen through this experience. What is the Hermit energy, Creator? What is the Hermit energy? What is the Hermit energy for the collective? What is the Hermit energy? energy, Creator, the Hermit energy. Yes, I feel like you do some incredible inner work regarding and come into your King of Wands, your Leo energy, your mature Leo energy, the true king, like King Arthur, the sword and the stone here. You know, here we are. Here we are, sword and the stone. I feel like you come into your true Leo energy. Leo meaning the king, sovereign, sovereignty, authentic and sovereign. Because only a king can alchemize a sense of great disappointment you had about something. A great disappointment that you felt in your past about something that stole so much from you. And you going through an energy where it's like you're being stripped away from the Creator, from the universe, but you're participating in this. You're willingly doing this. Because I feel like interesting, okay. What is the Seven of Swords upright, Creator? What is the Seven of Swords upright? I'm not going to say any more until I get the rest of the cards out. Because I could be wrong. Eight of Swords in reverse again. Yes, I feel that's exactly what you're doing. It requires a king, a Leo, a true king that is pure in his own heart, who you've done the work. Whatever you've come through, you have done the work and released yourselves from some very magnetic, harsh energy that you were trapped in for quite a while, but you've released yourself. And now this energy is coming online that you're trusting now, that you haven't trusted maybe ever in your whole life or haven't trusted in a long time, is now coming online. And you were doing this alchemy of truths that somebody else is not helping you through. They don't have the capacity to navigate. I just heard these barren lands. There's like a desert. In order to release yourself from an earthly, magnetic thing, a trauma that's happened to you, we often have to go into the desert. This is all symbolic. And whoever this is does not have the strength, the education, the will, the wherewithal to endure the desert. They will die in the desert. But you do. And you are gathering up these swords away from this person, going to go alchemize. You're going toward this process here that makes so much sense in order to alchemize this, because you're doing this alone. You're doing this alone within yourself. You're not connecting. See, people can commit a sin against you. And that's what, Caroline Myss talks about this too. Like when she said things like, when someone says to you, I never meant to hurt you. Yes, they did. They knew better. They knew better. And they ignored it. She says that is when someone sins against you, because they knew exactly what they were doing and they did it anyway. And even if they were to apologize, it still does not change the fact that something in you was violated. Something in you is shifted because of their actions, and you can't shift it back now. Not even they can alchemize what they've done. This is entirely up to you now. And whatever you have done, you have brought yourself through a process where you now can take this in and begin to alchemize this. And this is exactly what you do. The Ten of Pentacles. Oh yes, the lack of resources, like leaving, draining, allowing what you've learned, these experiences to drain out of your life. You're alchemizing, you're letting go, you're letting go, you're letting go, you're letting go. Okay, I need to bring this in. My grandfather, my great-great-grandfather practiced the shaking teepee. And the shaking teepee is a teepee that was specifically made for this ceremony. It was very sacred. Everything was chosen specifically. And he would have to fast for many days and get proper within himself. And the people that are also, the people that were involved in the process in this ritual would also have to fast. And finally, they would have this teepee erected. It would stand erect for a couple days, and no one was allowed in it. And my great-great-grandfather had already called the spirits in, the eagle, the wolf, maybe even mouse spirit, the bear, the white buffalo, the hawk, the raven, coyote spirit, the grandmothers, the grandfathers. They were all invited in. And then when the day came, the people that were involved would come and they would bind my grandfather. They would tie my great-great-grandfather. They would bind his hands behind his back, his feet with like another tie, and then they would tie his hands and his feet together. And the people involved would gently pick him up. They would open the flap. And you know in the Bible where it says, Moses or nobody looks at the shadow of God and lives. You know, as the shadow of God passed by, Moses had to turn his head and not look at the shadow of God. Well, that's the same thing. When they opened up this teepee, it was dark inside, and they weren't allowed to look in there. And they gently opened the flap, and they stepped in carrying my great-great-grandfather without looking within, and they gently placed him on the ground and then stepped back out without ever looking within, and then they closed the flap. Within a few minutes, this flap began to violently shake. The walls of the teepee began to violently shake. And out from the hole and the smoke hole in the top of the teepee, there's always a little hole up top where the poles are coming out, where there's a flap that's been opened and that allows smoke out. And these ties that were binding him were coming out. As a friend said that I shared this with, she said, it's like your grandfather was being released from the truths that were binding him so he could speak directly to the spirits. Because he would come out unbound and clear like a crystal, like a diamond, solid and clear. He knows what to do now. And that's what I feel with this. You're being stripped and released from the truths that kept you from you. It's like you're going through your own shaking teepee ceremony. I feel like the Creator is very close to you and even strengthens your resolve to commit to yourself by offering you cups to go back, testing you. But like the Buddha under the Bodhi tree, you're like, no, thank you. I'd rather sit here in my own space and be silent and just enjoy my own company. I feel like you have found your way home. You have found you after a long, long period of time. Look at this. And the Eight of Swords again in reverse. Releasing yourself from an inner prison. Never going back to a place where your mind was in irons. To a place where You were stuck in a perpetual state of disappointment and sadness. And now you are transcending that sadness, alchemizing it by doing the work, by melting these truths down with a pure heart, taking full responsibility for what you were complicit to. Even if it was simply to survive, you were still complicit to it. And by you taking responsibility is really truly what gives you the freedom to say no, because now you have the freedom to choose. Because by taking the responsibility means you gave the power back to yourself. That's what that means. You didn't give the power away to somebody else. You're not someone else's victim, as you gave the power back to yourself. You now have the choice. You now know, whereas before you didn't. Possibly. What is the Two of Wands, Creator? Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I feel like you're going to be moving. You're coming out of a Ten of Swords. Whatever's going to be happening with you leaving home, leaving an old comfort zone within your mind, within your heart, within your soul, it is going to bring you a lot of joy because you're trusting you. You're coming out of a Ten of Swords. You no longer have the psychic weight now. This weight no longer holds you down. Like I said, you've released, like that shaking teepee, you've released the binds that was keeping you from yourself. Defending beliefs, yes. What does that saying go? Growth is when you attain a new sense of belief, a new sense of self, and spend the rest of your life fighting for it. That's exactly what this is. You're very intelligent. You know yourself very, very much. You've got the fire of the King of Wands in your heart, in your belly, within you. You are going to be absolutely fine. So whatever energy here was... Okay, so the message I got that I didn't want to say earlier because I wasn't sure was the Dalai Lama. When he was asked why he doesn't hate the Chinese government because of what they've done to his people. And he said the kind of horror he's faced with his people being disemboweled and the way they were treated by the Chinese military and the Chinese government. He said, you know, that was the way things were, and to get, you know, that kind of helplessness, powerlessness, hopelessness, the weight of it, he said, it forced him, after his time crying and his experiences and feelings of despair, of ongoing despair and ongoing sadness and powerlessness and grief, deep grief. He said in the midst of all of that, he said what was being formed in him was such a great sense of compassion for the Chinese government. Because he saw they were the ones that truly were in irons, not his people. And because of what he had to go through in order to endure it and survive it, he said it forced him to reach up into his most universal self. So we said the horror and the powerlessness that the Chinese government brought into his life, he sees them as the ingredients, the required ingredients that he needed to attain to get to his highest self. He said secretly he sees them as his best friends, because how this whole process, when he sees it from a higher perspective, and this is what I mean about the 3 layers of seeing. On the ground, disembowelment is disembowelment. Rape is rape. Violence is violence. You can never transcend that on the ground. But when you come up into an antinomian perspective, where you no longer see good and evil fighting over your soul, but you now see good and evil in service of your growth. And that's what he saw. And that's why now he bows with respect to the Chinese government. This lesson taught me, and this is what I see for you. This is what I see for you. This deceptive energy that was supporting the entire reading has supported your growth and will support your growth. I feel like you're going to know exactly what to do with this energy and how to transcend it, how to alchemize it. And that's what this is about. When somebody does a crime, truly, when you think about it, justice is never really served. You know, because that person now has shifted because of the crime, because of the experience. How do you shift that person back? You can't. Time and space has forever been changed now. So there's really never a justice in the way we think of justice. There's just a new reality, a new sense of self. And sometimes that is the exact justice that we need, that you need, and that I also needed also too. Alrighty, you guys, I'm going to leave this here. I thank you so much for tuning into this energy. This is a beautiful, beautiful, powerful reading. And I'm honored to read it for you. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next reading. You guys take care. You're awesome.